If anything, the capacitor would be open, not shorted. Well, maybe it would be shorted. No, it is open. It's not showing any continuity, so it's not shorted. But it might be open so that the load resistance slows it down. And if that's true, tagging the 047 in its place, and we're just going to sort of sit it underneath. And we're going to shove this back in. Now this is, come on. It helps you if you can see it. There we go. I think it's still going to wind up being zeroed. It's nothing. Now the second one is not, that first one is not running. See it? The last one isn't running. Put in our homemade test equipment. They're all there.
Wow.
As soon as you plug it into the chassis, gone.
Once you check some of those pins for shorts when they get squeezed.
Let me put it this way. Let me do it this way. See, that's what a 2K load on it. And what it normally has is like a 100K load on it. Now, this is not getting great contact.
Thanks for calling, but we can't get to the phone right now, so leave us a message.
That's overcompensated. That's alright. But 2K ohms is way lower. The resistor should be along the lines of 100K. And then that's what it normally sees when it sees the contacts and the resistors in there. But they're there. So, I still get the impression it's in the board, but yet this board runs in there. So if it's the board, there's not much else to really do. The output is taken let's see, 2 is the input. And the dividers here, these pins right here, with the 10K and the capacitance, those are the 047s. The pins are here for the dividers. So if it doesn't go through the divider, it shouldn't be going through at all, except that it's coupled through from one to the other on pin 2. So, you couldn't get away with that very long, because on pin 2, this capacitor here is on the plate, and then it's only Only 2,000 picofarads. Not much at all. But to prove that, all you have to do is look at pin 2. So if you turn this over, and look at the pin 2s, you'll see what you normally get. That's quite a bit of signal. That's there. That's pin 2. Pin 2. Oops, lost our ground. 9, 8, 7. These aren't exactly the pins that are normally in use. That's pin 2 right there. Pin 2. And pin 2. We have signal on all of them. It's not the plate. I get the distinctive impression something is loading this down. Now there's a capacitor to ground on the board. But it's not very, see, that's pin 3. It's on the other side of the 047 on pin 3. And it's not 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's not a sufficient capacitor. It's a small one. Because these two, they would wind up being small picofarad type things. So this was on the other end of the 047. It's a 10K. On the other side, there's a capacitor going to ground. So this is a 10K right here. See that? That's the 10K right there from the plate. That's the output from the plate. And that goes to here. This capacitor here goes to ground. .01. Just out of curiosity's sake, I want to see if there's any I'm seeing residual readings, but they may be other circuit components and not necessarily indicative of any kind of a problem. This is the one on the third one. 56K. It's in the ballpark. They're all the same. 58, 59K. So I come to the conclusion that it's either not making contact with the pin or something is loading it down. It looks like it's loading it down, but I can't tell without removing that board. Yet the other board seems to work okay. It's unusual. I don't have any capacitance meter here, so I can't tell whether the 047 is, but if I've jumped it, then if it were open, I would be back in business. The 01 is not much. Okay. Now, if that were intermittent because the card was bending, that's interesting.
You got the bottom one now.
That normally isn't the case. This sounds more like it's, yeah, that one isn't. That one is. That middle one. Now why? Why on earth would it sit there? The trigger leads on this. See, nothing else really looks amiss, or even has that look that it might be intermittent. Alright. Now, if I don't get a good answer for this for a while, I may want to think about it tonight. Sometimes beating your head against the wall doesn't work, and you got to do something else while you think of what the idea might be. No, see, two of them, the last two aren't running.
And we just squeezed the pins together.
You just squeeze the pins together, so whatever it is on the other end, it's loading it down.